Hello, lords and ladies, and welcome to Let's Play Dragon Age Origins. This is one of my favorite games. It came out back in 2009. I'd probably put this somewhere in my top 20 of all time. Really fun role-playing game. Someone recommended asked that I Let's Play this, and it's a really good idea, so I'm gonna. Just gonna check the options real quick. I'm gonna be playing, I'm gonna be playing on hard difficulty. I reserve the right to change that if it just isn't fun. I'm gonna complete this LP regardless, but if it's just getting stupid, I'll just turn it down. And really the only difference between hard mode and normal is the amount of friendly fire that goes out that I can see. There might be some subtle AI changes and stuff, but I don't know anything about that. But we're gonna start a new game. Going with the original Dragon Age Origins campaign. I have all the DLC, so I'll be running through all of it, including Awakening, but we'll get to that later. Much later. So, Dragon Age Origins. Without further ado. And so is the Golden City blackened, with each step you take in my hall. Marvel at perfection, for it is fleeting. You have brought sin to heaven and doom upon all the world. Canticle of Thriondines 8:13.
The chantry teaches us that it is the hubris of men which brought the Darkspawn into our world. The mages had sought to usurp heaven, but instead they destroyed it. They were cast out, twisted and cursed by their own corruption. They returned as monsters, the first of the Darkspawn. They became a blight upon the lands, unstoppable and relentless. The Dwarven kingdoms were the first to fall, and from the deep roads, the Darkspawn drove at us again and again, until finally we neared annihilation.
Frodo! Yeah,
Until the Grey Wardens came.
mature themes, guys.
Men and women from every race, warriors and mages, barbarians and kings. The Grey Wardens sacrificed everything to stem the tide of darkness, and prevailed.
They don't look like they're prevailing. Is it just me?
It has been 4 centuries since that victory, and we have kept our vigil. We have watched and waited for the Darkspawn to return. But those who once called us heroes have forgotten. We are few now, and our warnings have been ignored for too long. It may even be too late, for I have seen with my own eyes what lies on the horizon. Maker, help us all.
Oh my. So yeah, bad stuff happening. Okay, so character creation. I'm thinking I'm gonna roll with the human. I usually play elves. because I like the elf starting story, especially the city elf. I think it's pretty cool. But I'm gonna roll with a human. I've played a human before as well, but I think for this Let's Play, I'm gonna be playing a warrior, and I don't know. I kind of like the story overall a little bit better with the human, so I'm gonna roll with that. I don't really care for dwarves. Apologies to any dwarves out there, but not feeling them. Especially in this game, they're kind of weird. They're kind of doofy. The elves are just kind of wusses in general. The humans are punk asses, but at least they look heroic. So I'm gonna grab him, and I'm gonna be playing a warrior.
Greetings.
What's up, dude? I am using a couple mods. One of them is a preset that I like that I'm gonna stick with. Just gonna alter it a little bit to make it a little cooler. And don't need a tattoo. Hair, change doofy hair. Nah, we'll go with this one. It's good. Kind of messy, kind of tussled. I like it. Eyebrows, we good with those? Now remember, the story doesn't really focus on the hero too much. From time to time you get his goofy little expressions, but he's not actually voiced, unlike all the other characters in the game. So, you don't have to worry about his look that much. And you can always just put a helmet on him. But, we'll make him look cool, if we can. Change his eye color, be a little lighter, so you can at least see them. This game's kind of dark, so sometimes it's hard to see stuff. And nose is okay. Need to change his mouth is fine. Change his jaw. Let's make his jaw a little bit wider. A little bit. I'm maxing out his jaw as I say that. Chin width. A little bit more chin. There you go. Bit more beefy face there. And neck ears, I don't care. I can turn his neck thickness all the way up. He's a meathead now. And let's see. Is that good? It's fairly good. I'm happy with that. Alright, portrait. This is not a big deal, but I'm going to change it just a little bit. And I get the camera in close there, like right there. And let's change his expression. Let's give him a little bit of a wink there. There we go. And we got to change his name, of course. All my characters are named Ash. And you can't change his last name. He's stuck with Cousland, but that's okay. Voice.
I have lost the spell.
How do you do?
I kind of like cocky. I kind of like wise. Experience sounds too old.
Well, that didn't work.
Yeah, it doesn't match.
Greetings. I've lost my concentration.
You sound like a wuss.
Charmed, I'm sure.
This is supposed to be suave.
Work. It's not working. Move aside, please.
You sound like a you sound like a tool. I'm not doing you.
Ah, my spell!
Oh, get over yourself.
Greetings. No, it is gone. My weapon does nothing.
How do you do?
Right, casting. Focus. New weapon.
I kind of like that guy. I'm gonna go with cocky. Let's do it. Next. Okay, now I did a little research on how I've actually never played a warrior. Like I said, I usually play rogues and elves. I've played a mage too. Mage is awesome. I did a little research on how to play a warrior, and they need a lot of strength. And they need a lot of cunning as well. I'm going to beef the cunning up to 12 and the strength up to 19. You'd think that Constitution would be important. I'm going to play him as a tank. But Constitution turns out not to be very good. Dexterity is really what you want because you dodge everything. But you need strength in order to equip stuff. So we'll beef up our strength a little first, then we'll put the rest into dexterity. Probably get Constitution up to around 20, 25 or so. And cunning needs to get up to about 16. Magic we can ignore. Willpower, we can put it up a little bit. Probably most of that will come from talents. Probably around 20 points or so. Next. And then we got to choose our skills. Now, with the hero is the only one that can get this skill, which is coercion. They're the only ones that can use it, and it's kind of it really helps out for certain conversations. So I'm going to take that to start. I could alternatively give him stealing and traps and stuff, but he can't actually get pickpocket, or I mean not pickpocket, mechanical whatever it is, so that he can unlock doors. So that's kind of an issue, but I can get coercion, so we'll do that. I do have something to help with the door locking, though. And he's going to be a tank, so I'm going to load him up with powerful. All warriors need that. And he starts with shield bash. I'm going to give him shield defense, I think, to start as well. And I'll get threatened later on. Yeah, shield defense. And playing on hard difficulty. Oh boy, here we go.
For generations, your family, the Couslands, has stewarded the lands of Highever, earning the loyalty of your people with justice and temperance. When your country was occupied by the Orlesian Empire, your father and grandfather served the embattled kings of your land. Today, your elder brother takes up House Cousland's banner in service to the crown, not against the men of Orlais, but against the bestial darkspawn rising in the south.
I trust then that your troops will be here shortly.
I expect they will start arriving tonight, and we can march tomorrow. I apologize for the delay, my lord. This is entirely my fault.
No. The appearance of the Darkspawn in the south has us all scrambling, doesn't it? I only received the call from the king a few days ago myself. I'll send my eldest off with my men. You and I will ride tomorrow just like the old days.
True. Though we both had less grey in our hair then. And we fought Orlesians, not monsters.
At least the smell will be the same. I'm sorry, Pup, I didn't see you there. Hal, you remember my son?
I see he's grown into a fine young man. Pleased to see you again, lad.
A fine young man. Now, okay, as you might have noticed, this game is rather talky. And I'm going to try not to talk over them because I don't know how well people can read the subtitles. So I'm going to keep quiet during the conversations unless it's just funny. Or I'm going to, and I'm also going to, whatever option I pick, I'm going to read it out loud so you know exactly what I said. Because the game does not, like the main character doesn't say it. You just think it. So hopefully that'll help. I apologize if some of the conversations get long and drawn out, but I do want to play kind of a complete game. And I don't want to, I don't want you guys to feel cheated. So I'm going to try and do my best to navigate the conversations in such a way as to get the complete experience. I'm going to be playing a good guy, kind of honorable, but, an opportunist as well. If I can get away with something, I'm going to. So here we go. What am I picking here? See, he's grown to a fine young man. Pleased to see you again, lad. And you, Arl Howell.
My daughter Delilah asked after you. Perhaps I should bring her next time.
Ooh, Delilah. That sounds lovely. I'd like that.
Good. She goes on about your prowess as a warrior. I think you have an admirer, young man.
At any rate, Pop, I summoned you for a reason. While your brother and I are both away, I'm leaving you in charge of the castle.
Yeah, it's a sweet gig. What? Why can't I go into battle with you and Fergus?
I'm certain you'd more than prove yourself, but I am not willing to deal with your mother if you join the war. She'd kill me if I let you go. She's already twisted into knots about Fergus and me going.
If you don't send me, I'll kill you. No, I'm not going to pick that. Very well. I'll do what you think is best.
Now, that's what I'd like to hear. Only a token force is remaining here, and you must keep peace in the region. You know what they say about mice when the cat is away, yes? There's also someone you must meet. Please, show Duncan in.
What?
It is an honor to be a guest within your hall, Tyrn Cousland.
Your lordship, you didn't mention that a Grey Warden would be present.
Duncan arrived just recently, unannounced. Is there a problem?
Of course not. But a guest of this stature demands certain protocol. I am at a disadvantage.
We rarely have the pleasure of seeing one in person, that's true. Pup, Brother Aldous taught you who the Grey Wardens are, I hope.
They're an order of great warriors.
They are the heroes of legend, who ended the Blights and saved us all. Duncan is looking for recruits before joining us and his fellow Wardens in the south. I believe he's got his eye on Sir Gilmore.
If I might be so bold, I would suggest that your son is also an excellent candidate.
Why, thank you,
Honor
Master
though
Splinter.
that might be, this is one of my sons we're talking about.
Is there a reason I shouldn't join them?
You did just finish saying that Grey Wardens are heroes, old friend.
I've not so many children that I'll gladly see them all off to battle. Unless you intend to invoke the right of conscription.
Have no fear. While we need as many good recruits as we can find, I've no intention of forcing the issue.
Pup, can you ensure that Duncan's requests are seen to while I'm gone?
Of course.
In the meantime, find Fergus, and tell him to lead the troops to Ostagar ahead of me.
Are you trying to get rid of me?
We must discuss the battle plans in the south. Be a good lad and do as I've asked. We'll talk soon.
You're trying to get rid of me. Now, you may have noticed some of the characters, if you played this game before, they look slightly different than they otherwise would. And that's because I am running with a few mods. One of the major ones, probably the largest one, is called, I believe it's called Dragon Age Redesigned, I think it's called. And basically it makes all the NPCs in the game look more appropriate for the setting and for their voice actor and all that kind of stuff. It's kind of it's a big file and it's a lot of stuff, but it's kind of subtle. But I kind of like it because it just I don't know, BioWare didn't do a good job of matching things sometimes. Sometimes their NPCs look kind of goofy, but this mod kind of fixes that. Also, Duncan here is wearing different armor, and if you played Dragon Age 2, you know exactly what it is. In Dragon Age 2, the Grey Wardens wear this armor. But in Dragon Age Origins, they don't have any specific armor set. They all kind of wear whatever the heck they want. They don't have a uniform. And one of the mods I have is called Grey Wardens of Ferelden, and it adds this armor to the game. And only very specific NPCs wear it. Only Grey Wardens wear it. I'll be able to acquire it later on, and it's pretty decent armor. It's not overpowered, and but it is fairly good, especially for a tank. But it's nice because the mod that I'm using actually levels it for, or makes it appropriate for whatever type of character you're using. So if you're playing like a rogue, it would be light armor. If you're playing a mage, it would be a robe. But it looks very similar to this and has the same motif, so it's pretty cool. It's kind of a bit of a cool lore aesthetic choice, so I like it. So that's that. Let's see what else these guys have to say.
Shouldn't you be off to your brother, as I asked?
Are you sure you'll be all right?
Your brother and I go into battle, not an afternoon tea. Who knows what will happen to us? I will tell you, however, you're my cherished son. I love you, and I trust you completely to carry on the Cousland name if the worst should happen. But don't worry about me, dear boy. You'll have enough to occupy your mind while I'm gone.
Is sending all of our forces south a good idea?
When the king demands it. In fact, not sending our forces south would be a distinctly bad idea. Don't worry, pup. You shouldn't see many problems, but I want you to prepare the men left here. In case.
In case what?
Legends of the Blights tell of horrible things. These darkspawn once threatened many lands. If we can't hold them, you must prepare for the worst.
Alright, now you're scaring me, Father. I don't want to do that. I'll do my best, Father, I swear it.
I know you will. You are a Cousland, after all. But let's not speak of ominous things. We shall assume that all will go well, and the Maker will watch over us.
I'll go now.
I'll talk to you soon. Just let me finish my meeting with Duncan.
As you can see, the voice acting is quite good in this game, and you know, the graphics aren't amazing. It was published 3 years ago, but it holds up pretty good, I must say. I'm rather impressed. It came out on the Xbox 360, so...
Yes?
What do you have to say, Arl Howe? How long have you and Father been friends?
We fought together under King Maric when he drove the Orlesians out of Ferelden. Heady times. The years since have not held the same promise. It's not something a youth would understand. It will be good to ride beside your father again.
You're a little malcontent, are you? You knew King Merrick?
Your father hasn't spoken about time with him? That man took care of his friends. As they say, he was large as life and twice as tall. It's too bad Kalen isn't half that.
So he's not a fan of the king. You don't think much of King Kalen?
I think of him as much as he thinks at all.
That's enough, Hound. You speak of our king.
Oh, the boy did ask, your lordship. As per the latitude you allow. I merely offered my opinion.
So, your daughter is interested in me.
The topic has come up from time to time. The young and their infatuations.
I got the impression Delilah didn't like me.
I'm sure that was years ago. People change. To be honest, I have no expectations. And your father seems determined to let you find your own way. If something did happen, well, we'd address it as befits a family of our stature.
Is he incredibly creepy to anyone else? I think I'd like that.
I'm sure. There will be much to discuss once I return.
I trust the delay with your men is nothing serious.
Poor weather, I believe. Their progress has been slow, but it's nothing you need worry about.
You told my father delay was your fault.
In a manner of speaking. If I had reinforced our border levies earlier, my troops could have left before the rains. I confess, my confidence in your father allowed me some complacency. I guess that makes it as much his fault.
Classic deflection. I just want to wish you well, Arl Howe.
I thank you. That is quite unnecessary.
Oh, the looks. One thing that I must say that this game does very well with its facial expressions is it kind of beats you over the head with foreshadowing, but it does a good job of saying things without actually saying it, which I appreciate. A lot of games don't do that. What do you have to say, Mr. Duncan?
I'm sorry, but I believe your father wishes to talk to the Arl and myself alone.
And yes, that is Master Splinter. That's so cool. Same voice actor. I was hoping to ask you a quick question or two.
Very well.
Excuse me.
I doubt your father would mind a slight delay.
Are there really darkspawn in the south?
Indeed. We spotted a horde assembling in the Korkari Wilds not 3 weeks ago. Luckily, King Kalen took us at our word and marshaled Ferelden's forces quickly. The first battles have already been fought. Your father and I must move quickly.
How many darkspawn are there?
Thousands. Perhaps 10,000 or more in this horde. Normally the darkspawn stay in the deep roads. It bodes ill that so many risk the surface.
How much danger are Fergus and my father in?
Well, I understand the first battles have gone easily.
Indeed. Are the Grey Wardens sure this is a blight, and not simply some large darkspawn raid?
No archdemon has been sighted yet, my lord. But with my entire soul, I believe this is a blight.
I wish we shared your faith. I suppose we shall see for ourselves once we arrive at the King's camp.
Did you really come all this way to see Sir Gilmore?
I have only found a couple of worthy candidates in my travels across Ferelden. Your father invited me here, suggesting this Sir Gilmore. If he is not suitable, I will head south and join up with the king.
That armor just looks badass, doesn't it? It's really well done. You know the king?
Not well. King Kalen is an eager young man who has shown great wisdom in responding to the darkspawn threat.
I've heard he's a bit enraptured with the Grey Warden legend, and that is why he caters to your order.
How? That is unworthy of you.
He only repeats what we've all heard. Whatever the king's reasons, I'll take his support. The priority is defeating the darkspawn before they threaten all of Ferelden.
Would you really recruit me into the Grey Wardens?
Of course. You're young, skilled, and eager for battle. Or so I heard. The Grey Wardens do not recruit simply anybody, and I intend no flattery when I say you show promise. The old treaties allow me to conscript you even against your father's wishes, but I will not do so. Our order is too small to risk animosity with Ferelden's nobility.
I'm glad I am to hear it.
It's tempting, your lordship, but I'm content to see what other candidates your castle offers.
So let me get this straight. If your order was bigger and could get away with with the Ferelden nobility, you would conscript me against my will. Well, that's good to know. I'll leave you alone then.
Until we speak again.
Reading between the lines. I should stop that. Okay. Let's take a look around. How guards, what's up?
Greetings, my lord. You are the Terran's son, are you not?
And who are you?
I am a member of Alhaul's personal guard. The rest of the Owl's forces are expected tonight. I understand you shall take charge of your father's castle once we march.
That's a little nosy.
I apologize. Good evening, my lord.
Yeah, good evening to you too. Alright, the rest of these are guards. Let's head out. So our quest right now is to go collect Fergus and tell him to get a move on. But let's kind of take a look around. Now, normally, another mod that I have, just a quick explanation. Normally, warriors cannot unlock doors. And, which, you know, makes sense. They're not rogues. They haven't learned how to pick locks. It's an acquired skill. But warriors can and should be able to do something that was not in the original game, and that is bash them down. Huzzah! Now, that works well on doors. But, as we might see in a second, I can unlock chests as well. I can bash them open. But sometimes it'll destroy the item inside, so it's kind of a gamble. The mod is actually really good, though. Clearly, this was a feature that was intended for the original game. Like, it has like these destroyed chests and doors that are bashed down. They didn't add those assets in; they were already there. But they just didn't enable them. So this mod goes in and enables them, and it does some other things, like makes it so that if there's a rogue in my party and I go to try and bash down a door, the rogue will say, hey, I got this. So you're not going to be bashing things you're not supposed to. There we go. Otherwise, if I was not a rogue, I would not be able to access these chambers and get these items. They're little dinky things, nothing really big. But you know, I get a little XP and every little bit helps, so. I'm going to do my best to fully explore everything. Alright, so this is the chapel. Let's talk to Mother Malal? Malal. Too many L's. I can't do that.
Maker, prepare a place for us. Redeem our world from sin. Forgive our transgressions.
Maker, forgive us all.
Have you come to pray for your brother and father? I'd be happy to ask for the Maker's blessings with you.
Now this is kind of an interesting conversation because this game allows you to do something that very few games actually do, especially role-playing games. You can actually play as an atheist, which I think is kind of cool. Most you know, in most fantasy settings, it's just assumed that everyone believes in some kind of pantheon of deities. But in this game, you can actually choose not to. So I'm going to say, I don't see the point.
I would think a man who desires to spend his life on the battlefield would show more humility.
I've told you before, I don't believe in the Maker.
I prayed that the danger your brother and father face might change your mind. It saddens me that you will walk alone in this world and the hereafter by your choice of blindness. But I will bother you no further. I must yet administer to soldiers who will appreciate it. Excuse me.
So, I think this game is really interesting in that regard because this game's religion, the Maker, I think that's they worship a being called the Maker. In other fantasy settings, like you have clerics and stuff, and they have their power, their faith, and their religion is a order of warriors or whatever, or healers, and they have certain magic powers that are granted them by that deity. In this game, the church doesn't have any magical powers. In fact, they don't like magic at all. They actually persecute mages, and the mages are not necessarily religious. They're controlled by the mage. The church is called the Chantry, I should say. The Chantry controls the mages. And I find that interesting because that's actually pretty similar to a situation we have in the real world. We have, various religions, and they don't actually seem to have any power. The only power they do have is in the physical real world, through politics and force of arms, and as we'll see with the Chantry in Dragon Age 2, assassination.
And I'm off.
And I find that pretty cool. A pretty interesting twist on the typical fantasy trope. This game is pretty generic as far as fantasy goes, but it does throw a curveball at you every now and then. I'm sure there's other fantasy settings that do that. I'm not aware of any, but if you know of them, let me know. I thought it was cool. So yeah, my guy is an atheist warrior. He doesn't care about any of that superstitious nonsense.
There you are. Your mother told me the Terran had summoned you, so I didn't want to interrupt.
Why are you looking for me?
I fear your Hound has the kitchens in uproar once again, and is threatening to leave.
Not Nan. Nan is just blowing off steam. She's always been like that.
Your mother disagrees. She insists you collect the dog, and quickly. You know these Mabari hounds. They listen only to their master. Anyone else risks having an arm bitten off.
Only to the master. He knows better than to hurt anyone.
I'm not willing to test that. You're quite lucky to have your own Mabari warhound, you know. Smart enough not to talk, my father used to say. Of course, that means he's easily bored. Nan swears he confounds her just to amuse himself. At any rate, your mother would have me accompany you until the matter is settled, shall we?
To the kitchen, then.
Just follow the yelling. When Nan's unhappy, she makes sure everyone knows it.
Alright, so we have our first party members, Sir Gilmore.
Good evening, my lord.
And this is the library. And this is the librarian. Let's go ahead and talk to Alduus.
Hello, my dear boy. By chance, I am beginning to teach these young squires about your family's history.
Do we have to? History is boring.
Yeah, I don't like exposition.
Boys, you are referring to the Couslands, the very family in whose castle you live. Show some respect.
Still the same taskmaster, I see.
If the mind is not exercised, it withers just as the body does. Perhaps you'd care to join me in teaching the lesson?
Certainly, I'd be happy to.
Wonderful. Oh, the Cousland history is long indeed. Where shall we start?
We predate the founding of the kingdom, yes?
Well, I'm glad some of my lessons don't disappear into that yawning chasm between your ears, young man.
Your lecture does lead to yawning.
A pity you don't spend the same care whetting the edge of your mind as your tongue.
Ooh.
At any rate, your family has held the Tourneur of High Ever since before King Cousland united Ferelden. In fact, Tierna Elethea Cousland battled Cousland to maintain High Ever's independence.
We opposed the king?
Well, the Couslands are ardent royalists now, but at that time, Cousland was unknown and considered dangerous by many. When Cousland's army reached High Ever, Tierna Elethea led the local bands against him. Obviously, Cousland won.
And Cousland let us keep the Tierna?
Cousland wished to unite Ferelden, not conquer it. After Elethea's men were defeated, Cousland asked her to swear fealty. The boulder where they held council still stands today as a memorial of that event.
That's a nice boulder. When was our line founded?
Records are vague, but the Couslands became Tierns during the Black Age. Is that familiar, child?
Yeah, I remember something about an age in there.
Every day I pray to the Maker that my lessons will stick, and every day he tasks me anew. At that time, your family held only the minor title of Ban. When the werewolves reached this area, Ban Mather Cousland organized a curfew and patrols within the city. Several other local bands supported his efforts by swearing oaths of fealty, making him their Tyrn.
So, werewolves, and my great-great-great-great-granddad was like, okay, guys, let's sort this out. And they're like, okay, you're in charge. Whoa, what? Tell about our relationship with Arl Howe.
The history between the Couslands and the Howes reaches back to the Orlesian occupation.
When did Orlais occupy Highever?
During your grandfather's rule. Of course, Orlais found it difficult to hold these lands. During the rebellion against Orlais, several battles were fought near Highever. The port village of Harper's Ford was the tournier's center. Its Arl was Tarleton Howe. Though nearly 90, he was still as sharp and bitter as cheap ale. Your grandfather openly supported the rebellion, but Howe sided with Orlais. Your family was forced to seize Harper's Ford before it was all over.
We fought the Howes?
Your grandfather couldn't afford to lose Harper's Ford. In keeping the town, your family drove Orlais from its lands. The Howes eventually joined the rebellion, when all of Ferelden united behind King Merrick and General Loghain. Just as now we united behind Merrick's son, King Cousland, to fight the Darkspawn.
So the Howes are opportunists. That's good to know.
Thank you for indulging an old man.
Oh, does that mean we have to listen to you now?
Silence! I will not have you two becoming smart-mouthed hooligans.
Hooligans!
Perhaps you should go. I doubt they need any more distraction. I'm just going to settle in here and apparently just talk to myself for all the good.
So apparently, you two are free to become smart-mouthed hooligans now. Off with you. There are all these codex entries. I'm not going to go through and read all those codex entries because it's interesting information. You should read it maybe once, but I don't think you guys want to tune in just to watch me read stuff. That'd be a little odd. Okay, so I'll go in there in a second. In the meantime, let's check out what's down here.
Oh, my lord, we were just,
Ignoring your duties?
well, the treasury's safe. I'm not even sure why the Tern stationed us here.
Do you always question your duties?
No, my lord, of course not.
Then perhaps you better get back to work.
Yes, my lord. Thank you, my lord.
Jerks. What am I paying you for, anyway? Am I even paying you? I hope not. Okay, that was the library. Let's go over here on the other side. And this is the dining room, and I don't see anything. Just a big old dining room.
Good evening, my lord.
That down there is the Lauda. I'm going to go check this place out. This is the other side. Okay.
Huh.
What's up, servants?
We will serve you while the Terran is away.
Ooh, you will, huh?
We will serve you while the Terran is away.
Well, alright. I'll see you later. It's good to be the king. Well, the Terran. Whatever the hell I'm called. The Terran's son? Break it! Oh, I lost the deep mushroom. See, that's what happens. So, it would behoove you to have a lockpicker. But if you don't have a lockpicker, you can still have a chance to get in those things. Which I enjoy. It seems pretty balanced to me. And makes it so you don't miss out on stuff. Okay, we went to there, did that thing. We went in that room. Let's go and collect my doggy. Well, let's go in this place first. Huzzah! Kitty! What's up, Kitty? Aw, Kitty. I'm gonna name you Kitty. And I'm gonna steal all the stuff. Yes. Elf root. Some deep mushroom. These are all alchemy ingredients I'll be using later. Some more deep mushroom. Okay. To the larder.
Get that bloody mutt out of the larder.
But mistress, it won't let us near.
If I can't get into that larder, I'll skin both of you useless elves. I swear it.
Man.
Calm down, good woman. We've come to help.
You and you.
And
Your
you.
bloody mongrel keeps getting into my larder. That beast should be put down.
Perhaps. Maybe you should be put down.
What? That monster is in my larder, slobbering all over the bacon, and you're insulting me?
Oh dear. Mistress, calm down, please.
That's it. I'll quit. Inform the turner. I'll go and cook at some nice estate in the Banorn.
Nan, please. We'll get the dog. Calm down.
Just get him gone. I've enough to worry about with a castle full of hungry soldiers. You two, stop standing there like idiots. Get out of the way.
She's rather severe. Don't be mean to the house elves. That's a big. Look at the shoulders on that thing.
How did he even get in here?
Little tail wagging. He simultaneously looks cute and dangerous. I approve. What a smart boy you are. Oh, yes, you are.
Oh, encourage the Hound, why don't you? No wonder he keeps giving Nan fits. He does seem like he's trying to tell you something. Wait. Did you hear that?
Our first combat. Get him.
And I'm off.
Rats. Yeah. Let's turn on shield defense. I don't want to get killed by giant rats on camera. That would just be embarrassing. My aim is poor. Get him, Dougie. Gilmore, save me.
Where do these creatures come from?
Giant rats? It's like the start of every bad adventure tale my grandfather used to tell. Your Hound must have chased them in through their holes. Looks like he wasn't raiding the larder after all.
He's like Lassie, but with bigger teeth. So my Hound put me in danger. Great.
He's certainly done the castle a favour by rooting them out. But seeing as you've got your Mabari well in hand, I'll be on my way. I'm to prepare for the arrival of more of the Isle's men.
You prepare for the men, boy. Use Vaseline. Actually, Astroglide. Use the water-based stuff. The oil-based stuff is no good. Doesn't wash off well. Irritates the skin. Not that I would know.
There he is, as brazen as you please, licking his chops after helping himself to the roast, no doubt.
No doubt. Actually, he was defending your larder from rather large rats.
What? Rats? Not the large grey ones?
Indeed.
They'll rip you to shreds, they will.
Oh, piss off
See,
a rope,
now
would
you've
you?
gone and scared the servants. I expect those filthy things are dead.
Yes, the rats are dead.
Oh, I bet that dog led those rats into there to begin with.
Oh, puppy.
Oh, don't even start with the sad eyes. I'm immune to your so-called charms. Here then, take these pork bits and don't say that Nan never gives you anything. Bloody dog. Thank you, my lord. Now we can get to work. That's right, you two. Quit standing about.
So now I have my dog. What's up, dog? He wags his tail. Do you see anything interesting? He doesn't seem to have found anything. Sad face. Oh crap, did I not name him? Did I skip that little text box because I thought it was something else? I bet you I did. Alright, 2 seconds. Yeah. Never mind. His name is Dog. But that's fine. Hi, Dog. Maybe I'll use a mod to change it later. I don't care. Okay. Do. Got the collected the dog from the larder. Let's go find Fergus.
And my dear Bryce bought this back from Orlais last year. The Marquis who gave it to him was drunk, I understand, and mistook Bryce for the king. Ah, here is my younger son. I take it by the presence of that troublesome hound of yours that the situation in the kitchen is handled?
Oh, it's handled. Nan's head exploded, and my hound ate the kitchen staff.
Well, at least one of us will have had a decent dinner. Perhaps your hound left something I can feed my guests. Darling, you remember Lady Landra, Ban Lawrence's wife?
I think we last met at your mother's spring salon.
Weren't you drunk? Nah, I won't say that. Of course, it is good to see you again, my lady.
You're too kind, dear boy. Didn't I spend half the salon shamelessly flirting with you?
Oh, yes, you
Right
did.
in front of your family, too.
You remember my son, Dyron. I believe you two sparred in the last tourney.
And you beat me handily, as I recall.
You mean this
It's
punk
good to
ass
see
over
you
here?
again, my lord.
Yeah, I remember you. And you, Darian.
And this is my lady-in-waiting, Iona. Do say something, dear.
It is a great honor, my lord. I have heard many wonderful things about you.
Ay, ay, ay.
Don't look now, Eleanor. But I believe the girl has a crush on your lad.
Lady Landra.
Hush, Landra. You'll turn the poor thing scarlet.
Perhaps we should speak alone sometime, Iona.
As it pleases you, my lord.
Oh, it will.
I think perhaps I shall rest now, my dear. Dyron, I will see you and Iona at supper.
Perhaps we'll retire to the study for now.
Perhaps that would be best.
Good evening, your lordship.
Perhaps. Perhaps you'll sleep in the stables.
You should say goodbye to Fergus while you have the chance.
Why can't I go with Father and Fergus?
I know it's difficult to stay in the castle and watch others ride off, but we must see to our duties first. You understand that, don't you?
What if they fall without me?
It's in the Maker's hands now, and we must cope as best we can.
I have a bad feeling about all this.
As do I. Your father and brother are marching off to fight Maker knows what. All the assurances in the world don't comfort me, but it wouldn't help for us to take up arms and follow. Fergus and your father have their duty, and we have ours.
Are you staying in the castle?
For a few days. Then I'll travel with Lady Landra to her estate, and keep her company for a time. Your father thinks my presence here might undermine your authority.
I don't think you should go.
Don't worry, my dear. It won't be long.
Did you know there's a Grey Warden here?
Yes, your father mentioned that. You haven't got it into your head that you want to be recruited.
Would that be so bad?
There's enough here at the castle to occupy you. I don't need you off chasing danger like your brother.
I should go.
I love you, my darling boy. You know that, don't you?
I love you too.
Go do what you must then. I will see you soon.
So she's like the nicest, most amazing parent ever. Let's go talk to what's her face and what's his bucket over in the where was it? The study? Where's the study? Study is no down here, right? That's the guard post. Study's over there. This way. Yeah, you know, actually, at least this family is a good one, you know? No, this is not the study, this is the... That's the vault. We'll be back for you, don't worry. Let's go in here. Let's talk to Dyron. What's up, buddy?
Hello again. Your castle study is wonderful. Might I ask whose collection this is?
It was my grandfather's, but I come here often to read.
So would I. Do you have a favorite book?
The Art of Passionate Love by Brother Copria.
Oh, that was banned by the Chantry, wasn't it? Quite provocative, I understand. I've, never read it myself.
I'm only joking, Dyron.
You had me going there.
You're such a tool. So you're going to be riding with my father tomorrow?
Yes, though I don't know when. I will leave when your father does. I'll ride as his second. A glorified squire, more or less. I'll care for his horse and armor and such. It's quite an honor.
You consider it an honor to do menial tasks?
Unlike you, I am no child of a great house. If I can rise within the ranks of your father's service, it is more than I could normally hope for. I'm a bit surprised that you're not riding alongside your brother. Is that disappointing?
Are you implying something?
Implying? Not at all. I'm simply curious. If you're interested, I shall record what I can during the battle. My writing skills may be lacking, but I hope to convey a true sense of the warrior's experience. Writing such an important work is one of my ambitions.
Will you actually fight?
I hope so. I admit to trepidation about facing Darkspawn, but I can't imagine an opponent more worthy of defeat.
Do you know anything about the Grey Wardens?
No more than anyone else. Is it true there is one here in the castle? Have you met him?
It's true, I've met him.
I'd join the Grey Wardens in a heartbeat. Can you imagine destroying the Darkspawn forever, becoming a hero? But I'd never gain a Grey Warden's notice. I'll have to be happy under your father's command.
I think you're skipping a few steps, buddy. You don't just join the Wardens and then become a hero. Let's talk about me. I like that topic.
I don't actually know you that well, my lord. I know of you, but that is not the same thing.
What have you heard about me exactly?
Everyone says you're more likely to succeed the Tarn than your brother is, that the Cousland line has never been stronger. I don't know about here, but outside your castle, people discuss your family a great deal. Some say your father should have been king instead of Cousland. But it is just talk, I think, born of affection for your father.
I should go.
Of course, my lord. I am sure you have much to do yet.
Indeed, so much to do, like talk to Iona.
That is a wonderful dog. He seems very noble and intelligent. Greetings once again, my lord.
I haven't seen many elven ladies in waiting.
Lady Landra has been very good to me. I am lucky. If I may, your mother has no ladies in waiting herself. Is that usual for a noble woman of her rank?
If she found a maid like you, I might encourage her.
You are very kind, my lord. I'm nobody special. You make me blush.
I think we should get to know each other better.
Aren't we doing just that? What else did you have in mind?
Something more intimate later on in my room.
I see. I think I might like that.
Heyo.
If I come to your door once everyone is asleep, would that be agreeable, my lord?
Please, call me Ash.
Until tonight, then.
It's good to be the king. Or the Ban or the Tyrna, or whatever the hell they call themselves in this world. Is there more books to read? I feel like I'm missing a book. Oh, that's it. Okay. Away. Alright, finally, let's go collect Fergus. I think I've put that off long enough. Hi, Mom.
Yes.
This door's in my way. I'm the Terran's son. I do what I please. I go where I want. Where? Nothing in here, really? Perhaps later. Got experience for chopping the door down, though. It's always nice. Door open. Can I get in here? I don't think I can. Nope. Key required.
All right.
All right. Okay. What's in here?
Yes.
This is my room, I think. But I don't need to be there yet.
Is there really going to be a war, Papa? Will you bring me back a sword?
That sword, Oren. And I'll get you the mightiest one I can find, I promise. I'll be back before you know it.
I wish victory was indeed so certain. My heart is disquiet.
Don't frighten the boy, love. I speak the truth. And here's my little brother to see me off. Now dry your eyes, love, and wish me well.
Should I wait outside?
Stay. I'd like to say farewell.
I wish I could go with you.
I wish you could come. It'll be tiring killing all those darkspawn myself.
Surely your father would not place both his heirs in danger?
Mother and father have been fighting about it for days. It's too bad. I could have used you at my side.
You'll be missed, brother.
If it's any consolation, I'm sure I'll freeze in the southern rain and be completely jealous of you up here, warm and safe.
I am positively thrilled that you will be so miserable, husband.
Do you really think the war will be over quickly?
Word from the south is that the battles have gone well. There's no evidence that this is a true blight, just a large raid.
Could that be true?
I'll see for myself soon enough. Pray for me, love, and I'll be back within a month or two.
Did you know there's a Grey Warden in the castle?
Really? Was he riding a griffin?
Shh, Orin. Griffins only exist in stories now.
I'd heard that. Did he say why he's come?
He's going to test Sir Gilmore.
Good for him. I hope he makes it. If I were a Grey Warden, though, I'd have my eye on you. Not that Father would ever allow it.
I bring a message. Father wants you to leave without him.
Then the Owl's men are delayed. You'd think his men were all walking backwards. Well, I'd better get underway. So many darkspawn to behead. So little time. Off we go then. I'll see you soon, my love.
I would hope, dear boy, that you plan to wait for us before taking your leave.
Be well, my son. I will pray for your safety every day you are gone.
Fergus will be fine.
I keep telling you, no darkspawn will ever best me.
The Maker sustain and preserve us all. Watch over our sons, husbands and fathers, and bring them safely back to us.
And bring us some ale and wenches while you're at it. For the men, of course.
I like Fergus.
Fergus? You would say this in front of your mother?
What's a wench? Is that what you pull on to get the bucket out of the well?
Oh, I love kids.
A wench is a woman that pours the ale in a tavern, Orin. Or a woman who drinks a lot of ale.
Or a woman who does a lot of other things.
Maker's breath. I swear it's like living with a pack of small boys.
I'll miss you, Mother dear. You'll take care of her, brother, won't you?
Mother can handle herself. Always has.
It's true. They should be sending her, not me. She would scold those darkspawn back into the deep roads.
Well, I'm glad you find this so funny.
Enough. Enough. Pup, you'll want to get an early night. You've much to do tomorrow.
Indeed. Well, this is like the perfect family. Yeah, if medieval Europe had these people in charge, we'd all be... everyone would be the Brady Bunch by now. Okay, nothing else. Let's talk to these guys. What do you have to say, Orin?
Mama says you're going to be watching over us while Papa is gone. Is that true, Uncle?
Yes, it's true.
What if the castle is attacked? Will there be dragons?
Dragons are terrible creatures, Orin. They eat people.
My sister-in-law's hot.
I want to see one.
This is your influence, Fergus.
What? I didn't say anything.
Are you going to teach me to use a sword, Uncle? Then I can fight evil too. Take that, dire bunny. All darkspawn, fear my sword of truthiness.
Truthiness.
We're teaching him about honesty.
Don't worry, son. You'll get to see a sword up close real soon, I promise.
It's all a bit too saccharine, isn't it?
If you should need any assistance in the coming days, I would be glad to offer it.
Oh, wow. So, let me get this straight. My mom, dad, and brother are going to be gone, and I'm going to be left in the castle with a boy I can send to fetch wenches from the well, a whole bunch of hot elf slaves, and you. This is a sweet gig. Best start to a video game ever.
Best do as your father says, darling. I will see you in the morning, bright and early.
You should be on your way, pup. Long day ahead tomorrow.
I'll go.
I know that you'll do me proud. You've grown into a fine lad. That much is clear.
Getting sent to bed early, are we?
I don't mind. I have someone waiting for me.
What? You sly dog.
Fergus, really?
It's the elven lass that arrived with Lady Landra, isn't it? Don't you tell me it isn't. At any rate, I'll miss you. Take care of everyone, and be here when I get back.
Ha ha ha. Our youngest is gonna go get laid. Ha ha ha. Alright, well, I think that does it for this episode. Tune in next time, and we will continue with more Dragon Age Origins.